of a camp surrounded by a perimeter of large rocks. He sees the tree ball field back in the middle of the campgrounds. All 6 of his friends playing together without him. He hypnotically stares out the window as the uneasiness completes inside his underground ocean.
All right, everyone, as a reminder, our next run coming up is going to be Shadow of the Colossus, any % normal, the 2018 PS4 version of the game, run by Stockie and TikTak, who are going to be racing against one another. I know personally this is a big tradition in the Team Eco Speedruns community of racing the game, so it's going to be really exciting and fun as far as being a run. For other things coming up, remember that for that race, every $5 that you donate, so make sure you get in those donations, will go towards the runner that is in the lead of that race, giving a pet to our good horse Agro. You definitely don't want to miss it. We have done it in the runs for charity events in the past, and it's always a great time. And remember that all of the funds raised today are going to Save the Children. Save the Children specifically raises money to try and help protect children from domestic violence, as well as malnourishment and getting them a good education. Just $10 can provide high nutrient peanut paste to a malnourished child for 10 days. And $30 can buy malaria pills for 50 children or help secure healthcare, safe shelter, and legal services for a survivor of gender-based violence.
Anyways, that's current events for the day. We're now going to continue our lesson from yesterday.
The uneasiness slightly sparks inside Blue Jr. as he feels the land shake.
And if you stick with us later tonight, the next runs are going to be the remake of The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening and Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. I know one of my favorite game series of all time is the Legend of Zelda series, so make sure you stick with us through the night to see these amazing runs. All right, everyone, we are going to take a quick break in preparation for our Shadow of the Colossus run. So don't touch that dial. We're going to hear a little message from our friends at Save the Children. And when we come back, we will be live with that SOTC race.
Jump out the tree before it shakes. Don't lose so many feathers when you hit the ground. Stuck thinking but can't remember. I'm up front of the center. Cut my fingers with the knife. They broke a nail and it has thrown back. Canary with my voice, gazing the lock. Not gonna say what I want to do. Jump out the tree before it shakes. Don't lose so many feathers when you hit the ground. Stuck thinking but can't remember. Come up front and center. Cut my fingers with the knife. We broke a nail and it has thrown back. Canary with no voice, gazing the lock. Not gonna say what I want to. Jump out the tree before the shakes. Don't lose so many feathers when you hit the ground. Stuck thinking but can't remember. Come up front and center. Open my eyes and go through. I want to see past the water.
Oh, it ended.
వారంలో ఎలా అనిపిస్తుంది కదా, చాలా చదువుతాను.
చాలా అంటే
చెప్పలేను సార్.
అని ముందుకు సాగాడు. నేను పని కంటే రాను, నేను చదువులోనే ఉంటాను అని చెప్పాడు. పనికి రానని.
ఆలస్యంగా నిద్ర టీచర్ చెప్పిన పాఠాల గురించి నాకు మధ్య మధ్యలో అవి గుర్తించుకోవడానికి మేల్కొని ఉంటాను. చదువుకొని మంచి డాక్టర్ రావాలి. నా గురించి నేను గొప్పలు చెప్పుకోను సార్. నేను చాలా మౌనంగా ఉంటాను. ఏదైనా చెప్పమన్నప్పుడు బాగా దిట్టగా ఉంటాను సార్. మా టీచర్ దగ్గర గ్రేట్ అని అనిపించుకోవాలనుకుంటున్నా.
All right, everyone, and we are back. With me is Stockie and TikTak 12 for a run of Shadow of the Colossus, any percent normal, and they're going to be racing this game. Good luck.
Oh, hey, hi.
hello. Hi.
Oh, and Azuma, I'm so
Hello.
sorry. I should have introduced you too. All of us are Shadow of the Colossus speedrunners, so I'm turning it
This
over
was
to y'all.
dying a
Take
bit.
it away.
No problem. Did it start?
I don't know. Can you put it on the speakers?
Do you don't have
Yeah,
to
y'all are up.
No.
Y'all are live.
Yeah, I can. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. The other person I forgot to introduce was San, the wonderful cat of Azuma.
Is it okay?
Perfect. I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, we can hear now. There you go. Small technical difficulties.
I'm so sorry.
Hello.
So did we start? That's the question actually.
Yes, yes, you are
Yeah.
live.
So sorry, but the
Hello.
setup is now working and they should be able to hear you.
Awesome.
So the introduction, I didn't know. Anyway, we are gonna do any percent run with 2 persons. Can you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm TikTak. I'm the runner of this game. Also a mod. We're all mods here. And yeah, I'm
Hello.
running the race with.
My name is Stockie. I am also a runner and a mod, and the disembodied voice over this way, if you want to present himself as well.
Oh yeah, I'm Azama, another moderator of the game, and I usually take care of the technical stuff. So with combined efforts for this marathon, we'll hopefully do a cool thing today. And yeah, let us know in the chat if there is anything we can do to rectify the volume or anything. We hope you'll have a great moment. And Ruby, I think I can let you continue, and we're gonna hit the start, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And just a quick note, so TikTak is going to be playing on a PS4 Pro and Stockie is playing on a PS5. So TikTaks may have just a slightly longer load-in times. So just something to keep in mind for the race. But you two, whenever you want to count it down and take it away, go for it.
Asa? Countdown?
Countdown.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, and let's go.
Good luck. Good luck.
Good luck, guys.
Okay. So, Ruby, if you wanna explain a bit what the game is.
Absolutely. So, as we all mentioned, the 3 boys who are in the room for this race are all moderators for the Discord and for the actual speedrun.com board. And I am also a runner of this game. So, if you're unfamiliar, part of what really bonds us is the love for the graphics and the lore. This is the 2018 remake of the game that was created for the PS4, but the original version was actually released on the PS2. So for Shadow of the Colossus, if you're unfamiliar, the basic plot of the game is you play as this character known as Wander, and you are roaming the Forbidden Lands. Now, you come to this place with a girl named Mono who has died, and the only information you're given by the game is that she had a cursed fate, and you ask a god that lives here, known only as the Doorman, if he can bring her back to life, because supposedly they have the power to bring spirits back from the dead. And the only way that the god can do that is if their power is released from 16 colossi that their power was sealed into. So unlike a lot of other video games where you have to fight grunts and a ton of different enemies, in Shadow of the Colossus, you only have the 16 main enemies that you're going to be fighting. So TikTak and Stockie throughout this run will be fighting those 16 Goliaths, all of which behave completely differently. They're different sizes based on different types of animals. So it should be a really exciting race. And with any percent normal, unlike boss rushes, we're going to see all of the travel time. So you'll get to see those in-betweens as well as the actual fights. I see Stockie loading into the Valis fight now, so good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah, with Valis coming up, I could actually explain the strat that Stockie already did. It's basically during the cutscene that we trigger by hitting the leg. We can move during it, and since Valis falls to the ground, we can also grab onto the sigil very quickly and avoid climbing up the back, which usually takes a lot of time. I will be demonstrating it right now since my PlayStation had slight problems loading in, but it should be not a big deal. Stockie already done with Valis, good job.
And the most important part with the difference in loading, it's not going to do much. It's not going to mean much because there is a bit of a skill gap, but you know, it's all in good fun, and I think it will be a very, very good race.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with the horse petting, there's an incentive to pet the horse. So whoever is ahead, which is you right now,
Surprisingly.
has to pet the horse.
And also, Son will get a bit of pets. A little cute black hole between us.
So this is going to be really fun. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So just before this run, we received an anonymous $100 donation.
Oh my god.
So that
Amazing.
breaks down to, oh god, what, 20 pets?
20 pets.
Ooh.
You want to split it 10-10?
Sure, we can do
Okay.
it.
I'll wait for you to load in, and then we can split it 10-10.
Start now, it's fine. It's a
Okay.
race after all.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oops.
Oh my
Oh.
god, 5. Oh.
Oh my god.
1,
6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Thank you so much for that great donation. And
Absolutely. And next time we actually have another one that just came in. So
Oh,
expect that you'll
yes.
definitely have some after quad too.
Okay, Stockie, I'm not.
So I'm gonna accidentally, I'm gonna accidentally miss this skip. Also, in the right there, I'm gonna give San some pets because she deserves some as well.
And yeah, with Quad coming up, there's another very, very cool kit which is actually exclusive to the PS4 version of this game. There is always like a certain point at which the Colossus loads in, which is predefined basically. And since the loading, well, the area in which it loads is different from the PS3 version, you can actually load this fight up from above, which allows us to jump onto the Colossus directly, which saves a lot of time actually. And Stockie will be the first one to try that, so good luck.
Thank you. You like yourself?
Thank you.
Or not? It's competition. This is all
Yeah,
good
yeah.
fun.
I'll be fine without one as well, don't worry.
Wow, getting cocky already.
I affectionately call this trick the What's Up Danger Jump just because I'm obsessed with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, but that's just me.
Whoop, whoop.
Let's go!
Oh god.
And here I am falling. And
One that was
right.
moving around everywhere. Oh, I planted. Oh. That's something planned.
Yeah.
Nice.
The big difference compared to the casual strategy of this fight is basically that.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, that is also nice. That in the casual playthrough, you would hit the feet of the Colossus with a bow, which would allow for some. It will basically introduce the mechanic of shooting the bow and then you could climb the Colossus from the feet, and that's what.
And slash to finish.
And
Very, very tight. Amazing. Very cool.
Nicely done. And
Sorry.
to go over something that actually I don't think we've explained yet, but we use the term a few times. So whenever we refer to something called a plant in this game, what that basically means is there are certain spots on each Colossus that you can grab onto, and no matter how much they shake and move around, the Colossus won't actually be able to shake you out of that position. For some of the Colossi, the areas for the plants are much bigger, but for Quad, it's especially small as far as the square footage. So well done there.
Yeah.
So I've got 20 pets, I believe.
Yep, so last time it was 20 pets, and this time we have another donation from CJ, It's All Good, for $25. So that's going to be another 5 pets. And the donation says, this is an emotional plea to everyone. Please pet the horse and help me get my train whistle. Think we can get to $500 by the end of the run. So it sounds like we have a official challenge to get more pets and get more donations in from CJ. So I'm going to hold you all to that.
6,
5,
7,
5 pets.
8. It's 25 pets. Because there was an 100 donation before. 9.
What? We already did that.
No, there was another one. 10.
There was another one?
Yep. 11. I'm 100% sure. 12.
Have fun.
Ruby, are you
Wait.
sure? 13.
No, there wasn't another $100 donation. It's just
the
25.
The
I was saying it was
Extra pets,
the
not
100 was from
Extra pets,
before.
extra pets.
Yeah.
Extra pets because of the loading. Dang it.
Yeah, no problem. You know what? I'm sure that the person who made the anonymous $100 donation appreciates that they
He's such a
got
lovely
double
person
their
to get an
money's worth.
extra.
Yeah.
Dang it. It's fine.
You already did it.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I'm
This is
just,
fine.
I'm just sandbagging a bit so that you don't look as bad for when I destroy you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot. Especially with the Colossus coming up, which is Gaius.
Oh,
Another fan favorite, and the one on the cover art, a very, very popular one. With a very, very cool strat as well. Let's see if at least one of us, or maybe both of us, will pull it off.
Hopefully.
Maybe, Ruby, you can go in detail about this one.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically the Colossus that they're leading up to is known as Gaius. He is a huge warrior Colossus that has a sword affixed to one of his arms. Now, if you were playing this with the intended strategies that the designers wanted you to use when playing, you would essentially use a piece of metal in the center of the arena to break his armor and get him to hit that with his sword. But what they're going to do instead is quite a few of the tricks in this game for the speedrun strats use a lot of physics manipulation or physics abuses. So by actually putting yourself at the very bottom of his sword when he plants it into the ground trying to hit Wander, this main character, you can stand on it and with an execution of a few perfectly timed jumps, launch yourself all the way onto the top of Gaius's head. It's a really, really cool strategy. We affectionately call it the Space Jam. So we'll see if they're able to nail it. But if they do, it's going to send them all the way to the first sigil without having to do any of the breaking of armor, any of the extra climb up. So it saves a ton of time.
And hopefully it's a bit different on any percent than on boss rush. Gaius was, I believe, a bit more to the left than any percent when he's lifting up his sword.
It's just the difference that you can move earlier, so the setup can change a little bit. And also, since we're both playing on 60 FPS, that's also different from 30 FPS. I recently got a PS5 myself, so I'm a bit more used to the Switch, but let's see.
Oh, you can't complain.
Yep, I can't complain, and there it is.
There you go. You can't complain because you have a PS5.
Yep.
I've been on 60 FPS for the past 2-3 days, and that's it. But here I am.
Yeah, and
I feel confident enough in my 60.
Yep, and actually the 60 versus 30 FPS thing on this game makes a lot of difference in some cases. For one of the later Colossi, we will actually have to change the frame rate as well to make the trick possible. But that's just a teaser, I guess.
Yeah, and just to go into that a little bit with the audience, so the reason why that's so
Yeah.
important is not only are there
Nice
tricks
one.
that you
Very
can and
high.
can't pull off in between 30 FPS versus 60 FPS, but in the PS4 Pro version, you can actually switch between 30 and 60 FPS at your leisure, whereas with PS5, if I'm remembering correctly, y'all, I don't have a PS5 yet, but I'm pretty sure that just stays on 60 FPS at all
no,
times. Is that
there
right?
is there is no patch for the PS5 version specifically that would like take the two best options that the PS4 Pro offers a choice in general. No, unfortunately we don't have that on
I'm
PS5.
glad.
It's just
I really like it.
yeah, it's true because we still have access to 30. But so basically, no,
And-
PS5 is exactly the same as PS4 Pro, just faster loading times. That's it, basically.
Got it. Yeah, and then with the regular PS4, you can only play on the 30 FPS. So every system that you play this game on just has slight differences just on which tricks you can and can't pull off.
Yeah, it's
And
very subtle.
There's Gaius for Stockie. Well done.
There is actually, we could think of only one trick, mostly, making a real difference between 30 and 60 FPS is the wacky jump we may see later, being, the super jump before the wacky jump.
Yep.
It's the,
But before that, are there any new pets?
Yes, we did get one pet. So if you can
Alright.
give that horse one pet, and it's
Wow.
from CC Neverender, who just says, "Pet that horse."
Yay!
Thank you so much.
I like how
Thank
Stockie
you.
is punished into oblivion for being ahead due to loading time, and I'm just like, here, one pet, I did my duty. But I'll give Sam
We all
another
love
pet as
Agro.
well.
We
What
still
I
gotta
did.
give her our pets when we can.
At the end of the day, the winner here is Aggro and San getting all the love.
For sure. And Charity.
And Charity.
And yeah, coming up as the next Colossus is Phaedra. Colossus, which, well, might be a llama.
It's a horse.
Or a dragon.
It's a horse.
a dragon.
It's a horse.
Dragon.
A horse dragon.
A horse dragon.
I've also heard llama, alpaca, giraffe.
Yeah.
I've heard so many things for this Colossus.
Yeah. And
Will you be trying the
launch.
the launch?
Oh god. Should I try the launch?
I did 8 extra pets. That's at least a coupon for
Yeah.
one Phaedra launch.
Yeah, but if I fail the launch, it will.
Yeah,
be
but
much
you're good
more.
at the launch.
Oh god. If the setup is right, I will try it.
Yay! So what TikTak is talking about is in 60 FPS mainly. Can be on 30, a lot harder. There is quite a hard trick on Phaedra where you can abuse the physics a bit and just fly off. And oh, there goes Sam. And just fly off. And it saves a bit of time, but it's a bit harder.
It's like 10 to 15 seconds depending. So in boss rush, we like to do it.
In any
80%, not so much usually.
resetting is quite hard. Let's see if he gets it. That's fine.
An alternative, I'll take that any day.
There you go.
And as opposed to the casual strategy of this one, this saves a lot of time. Stockie will be doing a little safer variant of this one.
I think. I hope.
And
I didn't.
usually you'd have to guide the Colossus to tunnels and make the Colossus search for you. And during that whole thing, the Colossus does an animation to lower itself, and due to that you could climb up the intended way, which is a lot slower. Which is why having this alternative saves a lot of time, obviously. And Stockie didn't get the jump, which
Good
is
luck,
actually-
Stockie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. We can bring him back. Phaedra's always one of the worst ones to miss because then
Bam.
I'm currently getting quite lucky with Phaedra's positioning, but they can get really out of position. There you go. They can get really out of position if they're feeling like it.
Whoa, nice save.
If they're feeling like I did not expect it to move the same leg again, but if Phaedra's feeling like it, they can just move out of the way, and then it's really hard to get back on the leg, but small time loss comparatively for what it could have been.
For sure, you did
Yeah.
that very well. It's a back.
I've seen people lose several minutes in races to this, so that was a really good recovery. Well done, Stockie.
Even with a bit of a weird step from Phaedra
Yeah.
in place.
And it saved time even.
It technically saved time, that's true. Well, like I did my own version of the Phaedra launch. I'm not gonna jump start. I really want to. I'm not going. Yeah, there you go.
Any more pets?
No pets at this time, so everyone make sure you get those donations in before the end of the run so we can get in more pets for our good horse Agro.
Yeah, to make the race more interesting as well. You know, you could keep me
Oh,
petting
actually,
the horse.
I'm so sorry. I stand corrected. We just had one come in from Shuli91, so we have 3 pets for Agro.
3 pets?
Yeah.
Thank you
3
so
pets. Let's go.
Yeah.
1.
Absolutely. And the message is
2.
choo-choo and horse pets. Those BBs are so
3.
cute.
Thank
you
you
so
so
much, Shuli.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that little pet stop.
Yeah, because this is also actually technically rebalancing the runs because it's the one ahead. So we did a bunch of runs like this to set up. They did in particular, and like this replacing the run on the row makes it definitely much more interesting. So yep, let's see for the bird avion,
The plane.
the plane. Yeah.
Oops, and Agro being scared of
The code name was literally just bird. Oh my gosh, and we have a void raid with a party of 99. Thank you
Oh,
so
thank
much
you
for
so
that
much.
raid.
Oh, hello everyone.
Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. We're doing a good old IRL race for once, which actually means I can actually just shake around this controller.
That's what we want, right?
It just turns into a fighting game all of a sudden.
Yeah. Here, so before we get into the Avion fight, I'm just gonna read one little thing. So for everyone who just raided, we specifically are raising money for Save the Children. So the Save the Children Fund promotes policy change to gain more rights for young people, especially by enforcing UN Declaration of Rights of the Child. Saving the children through coordinated emergency relief efforts, helping to protect children from the post-effects of war and violence. Every dollar of today's funds raised are going to go to Save the Children. So please get in those donations. And right now for this race, for every $5 donated, our runners will pet the horse. So if you'd like to see the horse get some wonderful pets, make sure you get those dollars in before the end of the run.
They are
It's out of
disturbed. They
yeah.
are disturbed by the cat.
It out of camera right now is San, the little black hole cat that we have, being absolutely adorable.
Yes, and I will say they have been giving San as many pets as the horse, and it's very cute. So you also, it really, your money goes double. It also goes to a true cat getting pets.
Stockie cannot get focused.
I cannot. Well, I mean, to be
you're
fair, I
gonna
am
do it.
moving around, but yeah, no, I'm weak to cats.
Here, would you like me to go into the strats of this particular Colossus,
Yeah,
or do you guys want to go into
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, take it away.
Okay, so this Colossus, bird or avion, is one of our only 2 flying colossi in the game. So basically what's going to happen is the runners are going to have to get onto the Colossus as she swoops down once they get her attention. Then after a flap cycle, this is one of the only places in the game where RNG really comes into play. So if they get an upwing, it means that they can do a drop from one side of the wings all the way down to the opposite side. But if the wing goes down, it makes it a little trickier to do that. It looks like, though, I'm on a little bit of a delay, but it looks like TikTak got that really beautifully, just that wing drop. And the final sigil, there are 3 sigils on this Colossus, is going to be on the tail. So once done with that, then TikTak and Stockie are going to have to make their way to the tail to get that final sigil. And the really cool thing here is, as you can see, he's stabbing pretty far up the tail. As long as you're on the back third, you can hit the hitbox. This is probably one of the biggest ones in the game, and that was a really smooth avion. Well done, TikTak, and good luck, Stockie.
Hopefully I should get wing to wing drop.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you. Again, I'm on a delay, so unfortunately I'm seeing it after it's happening.
Good enough?
Holding R1 really helps Wanda just stand on the wing when you have nothing to grab on.
Oh yeah, you both got the upwing. That's really, really awesome. That's lucky.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Just grab. Okay. And for marathon's sake, this Colossus is a
60 FPS.
you can see
60 FPS. Oh my god.
60 FPS, DualSense, HDR. We have all the possible excuses with the setup.
Okay, I just got to the part where y'all were screaming about Stockie almost falling off. No, I'm feeling your panic, just in a different time parallel.
Yeah, any more pets?
Let me see. Yes, we do. Okay, so we have 4 pets. And this is from Fat Mike Tizzle, who says, I can't turn down funding horse pets and cat pets while also donating to a great cause. Good luck, TikTak and Stockie. Thank you so much, Fat Mike.
How many is it? I'm sorry.
4 pets.
4.
4.
Sorry, 24. 24 pets.
1.
No, 4. 4. It was 4 because it was $20,
3,
y'all.
4. And 1 extra because Stockie trolled me just now.
I'm trying to make sure after the mix-up earlier that no one has to get put behind by extra pets.
And here's the cat.
Get some extra pets as well.
Yep. And yeah, coming up as the next Colossus, the Forest. It's known as the 17th Colossus because Agro likes the forest so much that she tends to get lost in it. Sometimes she just stops due to grass or rocks, which may lose up to a minute in the run.
Yeah, it's a bit weird because aggro helps you with different fights, and so obviously like she's unfazed by quad. She's unfazed by aggro. She's unfazed by quad. She's unfazed by Phaedra, phalanx. But grass and small rocks, it scares a lot. And there's a lot of grass and a lot of small rocks in the forest, so it's usually kind of difficult to navigate.
Yeah, and funnily enough, this is a feature solely for the PS4 version, because I assume they just wanted to show off how amazing this forest looks compared to the older versions, so they just slowed aggro down intentionally. But with that,
and they also made her very afraid of grass, just so afraid of grass.
Yeah, they made sure. Now, it's probably because she's being used to in 2005 when the game originally came out. There was no grass, everything was flat textures. Suddenly, everything has like 3D effects on it. It's like, oh!
I will say though, the PS4 version makes it so much easier to see in these areas.
What is that? This is a first time thing.
Okay, we've never seen that before, but
I'm glad I'm not soft locked.
It seems like it was charging the next area like a bit like a Zelda stuff, a bit like Zelda Breath of the Wild when you go too fast. Like if it didn't.
Oh my god!
God! So this PS4 basically is cursed.
Good luck to me, I guess.
Good luck. We have to give extra pets
The game wanted you to navigate the desert so much that it just froze you so that it could get a snapshot. I think that's what it was.
I've never seen something like that happen. This is amazing and terrifying for the future.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna make the race so much more interesting.
Yeah, we've been having problems with this PS4 Pro with it loading, but not that much of a problem.
Well, anyway, Ruby, introduce the next Colossus.
Yeah, sure. So the next Colossus that they're coming up on is Barba. So there are a few different speedrun strategies that could be utilized here. One is a cutscene skip. So basically this Colossus is another one of our 3 Minotaurs in the game. And if you skip the cutscene introducing the Colossus in at a very specific time, usually we watch for a certain line or notch on the wall, then you can actually end up on the Colossus's beard already, rather than having to use the architecture to climb up like you would normally have to use in an intended. So good luck, TikTak.
gonna try to hold it. Hold now.
Yeah, and then this Colossus has 2 sigils. Each need 2.5 stabs. So once they get up onto the Colossus, it's just going to be a matter of taking those 2 out. One is on the head, which is pretty easily accessible. The other's on the back. Oh no, TikTak! All right. So what TikTak's gonna do here instead is you can grab onto the back of the hand if you miss the strat and use the momentum of the arm as it moves upwards, and Barba tries to shake you off to run and grab onto the head. So it's another one of those physics exploits in the game of just using the momentum to work to your advantage.
And Stockie got it.
Very nice.
He's on the head already.
Nearly got spam.
Very nice.
I was thinking about the timing thing, but whether we discovered that R1. Oh yeah, discovered. Yeah.
Amazing.
Like that R1 works well.
Oh.
But yeah, that's a cool thing about races as well. The things going differently for different runners, you get to see different backups potentially, and strategies that we use to make the run more consistent, since any percent is known to be quite challenging when it comes to marathon runs.
Yeah, I don't know about you all. I feel like every time we do a race, all of us in some way get better, and people have gotten PBs in races that we do. They're just so fun, and they're really challenging because they make you constantly think on your feet rather than wanting to hit the reset button.
I mean, I could honestly, depending on how many pets I have to do, I could honestly get a PB on this run.
Yeah.
If everything continues going smoothly.
I'll try to get all
Fingers crossed.
Yep, there are no pets at this moment, so y'all can just keep on running, but I'll let you know if any more come in. But just a reminder that we are raising money for Save the Children, so make sure to get those donations in.
The PS4 Pro has never shown. I've never seen this
I've never
thing.
seen, yeah.
Waiting for it. Can you maybe let it play a bit and try?
I know it from PS4 stuff.
Okay,
No, yeah,
I knew
nothing
this.
to do
I knew this was something on PS4, but on PS4 Pro, this one in particular, it's supposed to have an SSD, so maybe something wrong about it. I don't know, but it seems more like the RAM. I don't know. It's a cursed console, so it gives us some spices to the race.
I got it on PS5.
On the PS5 as well.
To be fair, I did
Oh my God.
I did pause like at the earliest time possible, but yeah.
Oh gosh, it was like
Maybe that's the heat, the Spanish heat, the console.
whatever it is. What scared me the most so far is definitely the aggro stops mid, like run.
Oh no, we have Hydrus now. No.
Hydrus is another very difficult Colossus when it comes to 80% specifically. This one has a very unique and precise setup. Maybe Ruby, you can explain that one while we get there.
Absolutely. And really quickly, just as a heads up, I know some people have fears of monsters in deep water. If that is a fear you have, this might be a good time to go take a 5-minute coffee break, go get a snack for yourself, because once we hit this Colossus fight, that's what we're going to be running up against.
Yeah, or go on the share. I'm sorry. On the donation link, the donation link, just about the time to make it for the good cause, avoiding that damn fish.
Exactly. This is a perfect time to go look at the Save the Children website to make sure to get in your donations, and to also check out the SpeedDocs website. And one thing actually really cool specifically to mention during this run is the next big episode that they're going to be doing, or the next video they have out, is specifically covering the history of Shadow of the Colossus records. So you should definitely check that out. I'm pretty sure that a few of you were interviewed as part of that, right?
I was interviewed, and Stockie and Asa also have helped out with some of the technical things.
Yes!
I've already seen it myself actually, and I can't wait till it's finally published.
Yeah.
It's also an incentive for this marathon as far as
Yeah,
I'm aware.
I believe it's 2,000 raised and it gets released early.
Yep. So
Yeah.
if we hit that $2,000 goal right now, we're at $465 total for the entire marathon. So if you can help us get there, then the episode will be released early.
Yeah.
So for this next Colossus, now getting into the explanation before we hit the fight. So this Colossus Hydrus is an eel, and what's essentially going to happen is at the very beginning, once they hit the bridge leading up to the fight, they're going to want to make sure that they jump off and land in the water in a pretty specific placement. Then we make sure to count a certain amount of cycles. Usually it's 9 or 10 swim cycles into the water. And that basically puts us in the right placement to get Hydrus's attention. Then with a series of a jump stab and a few other jumps in the water, rather than Hydrus just arcing and you grabbing onto her tail like would normally happen in a run of this game, by doing those jumps, you can actually get Hydrus to cock her head to the side, and that puts you all the way past the electric nodes and onto the sigil itself. So that's going to help really expedite the fight. So good luck here, guys.
Yeah.
9. Let's just do a short positioning here. And the rest is also very precise.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I'm gonna put on the excuse of 60 FPS, which is not what I'm used to, has a different setup. So
Yeah.
when I get it, TikTak will have no excuse.
It's a difficult one.
Okay.
Yep, okay.
No Hydrus IL thingy.
Unfortunately.
So yeah, unfortunately, but definitely this is the kind of thing very hard to hit during any percent or long run, like NTA boss rush as well. And they could grab. Okay, so actually, yeah, he's already out, so they kind of did a jump stab on the head, and Hydrus detected that Wonder was here, so he's staying at the surface. But now they have to reach the head as fast as possible.
And one of the great things here is if you're using classic controls, as you can see Stockie doing, he can actually roll up the Colossus just to get past those nodes. And that trick at the very beginning is one of the hardest tricks to pull off in the game, especially in any percent. So their recoveries on this are looking really, really good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna cry.
So yeah, it's worth a mention that if you're curious, don't hesitate to check out the IL leaderboard and all the stuff, because depending on the scope you have for your speedrun, if it's a full run or a shorter one by Colossus, we can definitely play this game in a lot of different ways, and speedrun.com will be welcoming you with a bunch of cool content like this. And yeah, you could see the AI manipulation here, but honestly, the runs are too close. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Incredible recoveries, guys. Well done.
Yeah, you see the stress release now. It's chill
This
out.
is one of the roughest ones. This one can lose minutes upon minutes.
And also by contrast, because the next one, this one is pretty intense, but the next one is pretty chill. So really
It's the easiest.
the breathing time.
By far, for sure.
I will say, casually, Kuro, if you're not a player who's familiar with the game, it can be very stressful. But as speedrunners, after Hydrus, this is the point where we can take a breath and go, okay, whew, this is fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. If Hydrus just went horribly wrong.
This is the point where you just say, I'm too far in, I'm not going to
Reset.
anything. Also, do you have any more pets for either one of us?
Whoever loads it
Not
first.
at this time. So y'all just keep on trucking in the run and go on towards Kuramori. Let me know if you want to go into the detail or if you want me to explain it, because I can break it down if you need.
Ooh, faster. You're doing it faster. I mean, just, yeah, you've got the, you got the main stage, Ruby.
Okay, so the next Colossus they're headed to, this is the 8th out of 16, so we're getting pretty close to that halfway point, is called Kuramori. Now, this Colossus is unlike a lot of the others. It's designed to look like a gecko or salamander, and it's in a huge Colosseum arena type area. So this one has one of the longer travel times out of the first half of the Colossi in the game. And what they're essentially going to need to do is this Colossus will climb up the side of its arena, and they'll need to use their bows to shoot the Colossus down off of the wall. And once that happens and he collapses, the higher he falls from, the harder he falls and the longer he will stay down. So they're going to use that time to get in some really quick stabs on the stomach and take it out. So you'll be able to see that in really quick time once we actually get to the fight. But the fight really only lasts a minute or less. Usually we aim for 40 or 50 seconds here. So it's a long explanation for something that if you blink, you'll really miss it. So, but for now, one really nice thing headed up to Kuramori is you get these beautiful views of a waterfall and this pretty grass. And if you actually swim in the pond headed up to Kuro, fun fact, you can grab onto the fish and swim around with them. So there is a category extension called, I believe, Pet the Animals, and the idea is you run across the land to touch every animal that exists in the game.
Yeah, we it's obviously obviously is as a reference to one of the great speedrun classics. We named the category extension Save the Animals, because we do have another category extension which is Kill the Animals.
Yeah. So basically it's a category called Animals of the Land, and the subcategory Save the Animals or Kill the Animals. And it was a lot of brainstorming and moderation, thinking about.
It was a bit of a nightmare, yeah.
This kind of very out of track runs we do on the CE board, but definitely a lot of fun. And yep.
We're gonna, TikTak and I are both gonna try to do a small little completely inconsequential trick called Harboring.
On the next one.
On the next one. It does nothing except just look very cool.
You're on right.
Yeah.
This is so close, guys. I mean, it's an 80% run.
Yeah, this is extremely close. They're in the they just went through the exact same doorway on my screen.
God. Oh my god! Stockie the head.
I tried a risky side jump.
He tried the thing you showed. Amazing.
Oh my god. Okay,
it's fine.
No, it's not.
We gotta put some tension into Kuro. If not, he's way too boring.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's not like you totally paid side jump.
Yeah. I totally didn't feel another one.
As a community, we do a lot of races and events like this, and recently we had 8 players at the time for intended 80%, and there was no run so close. Like this is super cool, very cool for the show. All right.
Yeah, it was an incredible run, and okay, so as we were mentioning before, this is a Colossus where they're gonna get the Colossus's attention, shoot it down off the wall. The weak points that you're looking for are the glowing legs, and then once the Colossus starts wobbling, when you hit 2 of them, you can get up onto the stomach fur and just get in really quick stabs. You only need 2.5 stabs for each of these sigils in order to take them fully out.
And they are so close, doing the cycle stabs perfectly on the first sigil, and now finishing with the last one. 1 jump stab and a fast jump stab. Very nice, because it's it's about knowing the sigil area perfectly, because you've seen the sword like not touching the symbol precisely at all visually, but it actually did hit. This is something I guess we mentioned it already, but a lot of sigils have their area sometimes a bit messy.
Any more horse petting?
I am looking as we speak. Yes. Okay. So we have 2 pets with a $10 donation from CC Neverender saying,
Hey.
"Won't someone think of the horsey?" Well, you'll think of the horsey, as we will all. Thank you so much, CC Neverender.
Do we got pets? And now we're going towards
Bassaran, yep. And
Bassaran,
actually,
yes,
I have a
Bassaran.
dog here, so I'm going to give the dog pets too. So now
Aw.
multiple animals are getting pets.
Dog named after one of the Colossi.
Yeah.
This is actually not Celosia, although we do have a dog in my house who is named after the 11th Colossus. I'll let you know which one that is when we get to it. But this is Sky is her name. I live with
Aw.
several dogs. She's a very sweet Shiba. But the Colossus they're heading to now is completely unlike the very cute, adorable Shiba that I have with me, or the adorable San over there.
No. Cutie turtle.
This is Bassaran.
So you have to know, Ruby basically, I think it's the least favorite, I'm correct?
Yeah, this is my least favorite Colossus.
My least favorite as well.
Okay.
Yep, I know a lot of people have a much better time with it, but this is one that has given me no end of grief during marathons.
Yeah. But it's a very scary one, but also from the IL perspective, there are a lot of things to imagine and crazy records with this one. And the idea will be to get to the head in one big, important and precise jump. That is obviously for an 80% run where you can't restart. Again, it's the same problem basically. If you could restart at the beginning of the fight, it would be like NTA, like boss rush. You could try to apply the IL strats, but doing this in 80% is first very brave and also very costly.
And different.
And different, yeah.
If you want to do it first try, you have to set up the fight in a very precise way, which adds a little bit of difficulty to any percent run. Because if you line yourself up the aggro.
Oh my god! So basically, you have to kind of find the setup or something similar that the IL and the NTF would put you, or when you restart the fight, for example. That's why if it doesn't work, they may want to suicide.
Oh.
Okay, for.
My community has started calling it tactical yeets.
Yeah. Much better. I like it. We will be seeing one shortly.
And while I'm trying to do this myself.
Yep, this is another one of those tricks that we consider kind of run breaking, just because, or run killing, because it is so difficult to pull off.
Nice.
Yes, and jump stab, nice, excellent.
Well done.
Beautiful.
But I add to it that on 60 FPS this is another very difficult one, just because the amount of force you get behind that jump is a lot more than 30.
It can be more powerful because the idea is that very nice launch, getting on the back like this. Amazing, you got it. Now it's just a series of just 1 point to hit, but because of all the movements, it can be perceived as complications and difficulty because all the animations Bassaran has tend to cancel and make you shake a lot, and it's a huge mess. But it can also represent opportunities and ideas and being spontaneous during the run on Bassaran. Technically speaking, it's a very interesting one, definitely, but also a rude one for the longest runs.
Oh, 60 FPS, he tweaks so much.
And because basically with the higher frame rate, it seems logical to think that the calculation of the shake animation and stuff like this in the physics are like more refreshed, and so it can be a bit messy. And it works as well for what TikTak said earlier about that launch, the side jump. That can push you very far in 60 FPS and actually too far sometimes.
We saw that nearly happened to me. TikTak got a very good launch right on the head, but I am a 30 FPS player, so now that I'm switching to 60 FPS for this run and for these past couple of days, Bassaran has been one of the harder ones to get used to, and it did launch a bit too far, but luckily it was just enough to get caught and maneuver my way in.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a full aerial tour, which thank goodness. And by the way, there are no horse pets at this time, so y'all can keep going. But everyone remember, for every $5 that's donated, they'll be able to pet the horse after these fights. So we have, oh gosh, 7 Colossus fights left. So make sure that you get in those donations before that final fight. And y'all are headed to Dirge next, right?
Yeah, the very long ride to Dirge.
Yeah, the next several colossi have much longer travel times, so let me know if you all wanted to go into a description of the fight or if you wanted me to read messages. Totally up to you.
You have time, I think.
You have time. Yeah, are there any messages to read right now? Or something you want to say?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So one thing, just as far as Speed Docs, if you've been looking for a speedrun interview podcast to listen to on your daily commute while working out at the gym or while you're settling down for the evening, you can check out Speedrun Insider, hosted by Speed Docs and our very own CJ It's All Good. Download the show wherever you get your favorite podcasts or listen to the YouTube release at youtube.com/speedruninsider.
Yeah, you might have noticed just now that Stockie got so distracted by the cat.
I'm very weak with cats. Oh, actually, one thing that we can mention, we haven't mentioned it, but we're wearing custom t-shirts.
Oh yeah,
we got our little custom t-shirts if As also wants to pop up. But in the community for each one of the Colossi, we have our own little emotes. So we put our favorite Colossi and our name with our logo on the back. Out now in no stores whatsoever, but hey.
So if it's not out in any stores, just theoretically, hypothetically, what would it take for, let's say a speedrunner who also really loves Zenobia like TikTak to maybe procure one of those t-shirts?
They told me Zenobia is already taken.
It's one per Colossi.
But yeah, feel free to DM Azama and we will figure it out.
Yeah, sounds good.
It's her
Oh my god, those are adorable.
Asked for one, and she will be getting one soon.
So, which Colossi do each of you have?
I have Celosia, my tiny little boy. TikTak has Zenobia.
And I've got the best Colossus.
Yeah.
You know, Ruby, the one who won the award. Phalanx, the 13th Colossus, the big snake flying in the sky. We're gonna see him later, and
yes,
it's without contest the best one.
Yeah, behind Celosia
and Zenobia.
Well, talking about
listen, I love all of your choices. So just saying, but yeah, getting into Dirge now. The Colossus we're about to fight. Yes, so this Colossus is a sandworm. So basically what's going to happen is with many of the different Colossi, you'll notice that they've had to hit weak points in order to then throw the Colossus off or be able to climb the Colossus. So this one has all of this sand that you can see in the arena to dodge underneath, but has gigantic eyes. So this, for casual players, is often one of the more difficult fights because you have to basically get the Colossus to line up behind you and then shoot it in one of its eyes in order for the Colossus to spin completely out of control. So what you'll see is TikTak is lining up that shot here, and once he lands a shot in Dirge's eye, he's gonna either hit one of the walls or one of the pillars. Once that happens, what we want to look for with this Colossus, as well as with Hydrus and some of the other Colossi, is a one cycle. So basically, rather than taking out a sigil and doing too much damage and the Colossus going under the sand, by doing just the right amount of damage, just under that threshold, we can make it so we can hit both sigils in one cycle and take out all the damage for the Colossus without it going back under the sand. So that's what TikTak is going for here. Let's see how it goes.
Jump stab. Oui! Yes! Oh my god!
Sorry.
Amazing.
Sorry.
So this is something that you could do to save it, and actually, Dirge was living with 1 pixel life, which is the worst scenario because you have to chase him if I'm being chased again, and 1 crazy jump stab while he's moving down. TikTak and I knew it was possible. Amazing, isn't it? The first time.
It's the first time I ever made it.
Amazing.
I have never seen someone pull that off. Well done.
Whoa.
So basically, Stockie just did it the normal way. I did it the extremely hard, insane way. Also, hello, Sam.
Yeah, she kind of.
She got the Dirge vibes.
Yeah, amazing.
She's been running around. I don't know if you guys have been seeing that small little black hole just roaming. For those who joined and didn't see San before, this is San. She gets pet because she's a cutie.
She got the Dirge zoomies.
Any aggro pets?
No aggro pets right now, but I have given a pet to Celosia now that he has joined me, as we, funnily enough, are headed to Celosia. So I have a dog in my house named Celosia after this Colossus. So it's a little lion-looking Colossus. But Stockie, what animal would you more compare him to? Because I feel like all of us say something different.
Oh, the PS4!
As Stockie passes me again and loads, he can introduce me next.
I will be doing the introduction for my best boy, Celosia. As Ruby very well put it, it's one of the 2 tiny little lion dog. This way? Okay, thank you. Thank you, technician Asa. It's one of the 2 little tiny lion colossi dog things. This one is particularly adorable because he is scared of fire, as we all really are. What we will be doing is we'll be doing at the beginning a bit of like a optimized, technically intended, in which you have to get Celosia to bonk their head against like a pillar kind of thing with a fire on top to get the stick down. To get a stick down, then we have to light on fire. And there's a small quirk with the game, is that the checks the game makes to see if Celosia should start doing the falling down animation is whether Celosia is near enough to the edge and there is fire in Wanda's hand nearby. And because of that, it doesn't actually check where Wanda is. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going up to the edge with fire in our hand, leave it on the ground for like half a second, pick it back up. Celosia will start charging at us because apparently if fire's on the ground doesn't count. That sounds like an amazing world. As we pick it back up, Celosia's going to be right next to us, and they're going to fall down, and hopefully they're going to knock us down 1 level, because there's 3 different levels. The one where we're at, the middle one, and then there is the bottom ground. So hopefully we'll get knocked down once. And again, just like with Kuramori, it's a lot of explanation for about 36 seconds.
Yep, and another little thing about it, which is interesting at any percent, is that you are able to fall directly into the arena with a little setup, which Stockie will now show.
If I remember correctly what it is, it's that little rock over there, right? Yeah. Then just kind of navigate it forwards.
Yep. Hope me rock yourself.
Yep.
Good job.
First try. So now we'll be seeing the absolute cutie, as Celosia. Hello.
God, I love this bean. I love the small boys. They're my favorites.
Ooh, fast AI. Jumped a bit too far, but as you can see, we have the stick down behind us. We're going to pick it up, go to the next pillar, to light it on fire real quick. And then hopefully my more swaggy strat of not looking at Celosia because it's too cute, I will get distracted, it will work. And there you go. So as you can see, just as I was about to get hit by Celosia, I picked up fire. The game goes, oh, Celosia's near the edge and has fire in the hand, therefore we gotta knock him down. And double jump stab. Nice.
Yes. Very clean.
Oh. I never get slow in my PBs. It's the most annoying thing.
Well done on that jump stab. That's amazing. The small boys go extremely quickly. They are very agile versus the bigger colossi. So getting that jump stab in is really great when it can happen, but the colossus moves so quickly that sometimes that timing can be tricky.
So now, how far are we into it? What's the time on right now? So we have.
So you're headed to Pelagia next. So we're on number 12, and we don't have any donations at this time. So everyone, remember, we want to give our horse some more pets. So get in those $5 donations or more so that we can give her more pets, please.
So even though there is supposedly around 50 minutes to 1 hour left, there's only actually 4 colossi left. But because this is any percent, there's a lot of horse riding, and these final ones, especially number 14 and the final one, number 16, have very, very long horse rides, and also relatively long fights. So that's why, even though there's only 4, even though we're 3/4 of the way done with the game, we're only about halfway done with the actual run.
Yeah, and Pelagia is another very challenging one, especially in any percent, because this one requires a very specific lineup to work in any percent, and the timing's a little bit harder. And it's a well-known run killer for many runners. It will take a while to get there, but maybe you can explain the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. I can break it down. So one of the great things about heading to this Colossus is this is another one that has really beautiful scenery actually leading up to it. But this Colossus is going to be in a huge water arena, but unlike Avion, who was flying over water earlier, this is one that has several different gazebos, or kind of platform areas that are raised up from the water. So what they're going to be doing essentially is by pulling out their bow to get the Colossus's attention, and then using the animation cycle of Pelagia going, "Oh, what's that?" and dipping her head to look, they can actually jump onto her face, so that rather than swimming all the way around the Colossus in order to get on, they can just land right on the face and get going. And one of the really interesting things about the build of this Colossus is every time that you hit the teeth that sit on its crown, so it actually has teeth on its head that you'll see, once you hit them, that tells the Colossus, oh, this is the direction I need to go. So for the intended strats, that's actually what you use to help solve the puzzle of beating this fight. So they'll use the Colossus to as basically a car to drive them over to one of these platforms. As soon as that happens, the Colossus is going to jump up onto the platform with them to investigate and go, hey, wait a second, you were trying to kill me, so I want to kill you. And they'll be able to then take out the sigil that is on its belly, usually underwater, but at that point will be revealed. So they can get into more of the specifics of what they're doing at the moment with the actual fight. This is a longer fight as far as the speed run goes, but when I say longer fight, it's still going to be 2 minutes or less. So it goes very quickly, especially with speedrunners of the level of skill that these two have.
Oh,
so
thanks.
Yeah, well, yeah, no problem.
Now I've got pressure.
No pressure. You got this. I believe in you.
Yeah. This is like another fight, but there's also a lot of variance depending on what happens, especially in an 90% run. If you get the strats pretty much perfectly, it's feasible to do within about 50 seconds. But it can be up to 2 minutes if the one cycle is missed.
Or 3 if Pelagia decides.
Yeah, I guess.
Yep. And the one cycle here, one of the biggest things that's going to be important, kind of like with Dirge, how they had to do exactly the right amount of damage at the right time, rather than it just being that they need to do a little less damage on one sigil so that the others are fine. There's only one sigil on this Colossus, but they have to do a full stab, a 90 to 95% stab and then 2 more full stabs in order to make sure that you not only get the right amount of damage to take out the sigil, but also you get the right animations for the Colossus to keep its belly above the water, because otherwise it'll dip its belly below the water, and at that point you can't reach it at all and have to start over all over again as far as getting onto the Colossus and getting the belly where you want it to be. And you can see Stockie unfortunately missed that jump onto the head, but was able to use the spine rather than the grass to climb up, which actually makes it a lot faster. And there's a really cool animation here where once they jump to the platform, when Pelagia starts charging her attack, you can actually jump onto her face, and if you grab on while she's charging it up, then that will cause her to do the animation automatically of the raise up onto the platform. And it looks like TikTak was able to get that animation there.
Good.
Oh. Not sure mine.
Oh,
No.
Nah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
Yep, and I managed to do one cycle. What happened with Stockie here, that can also happen. He had the right setup for the stabs, but sometimes the positioning can be very, very precise, and if Wonder gets too much of a shake, he can't hold on for the last stab, which is very unfortunate in this situation.
I went one move too low than what I would usually do, unfortunately, and that instantly just made it all go wrong.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is one of those Colossi that if you don't get it exactly, then it takes so much longer. And this is also one of the Colossi that, unlike a lot of the others, where if you're in the right position at the right time, you can pretty much get them to do the exact same animation cycles every time. This one has a lot more RNG variances. Sometimes you'll just decide, no, you know what, I don't feel like doing that today. So it's unfortunate when that happens, but it is one of the curses of being a speedrunner of this game that we all just kind of accept.
That's fine. I'm just compensating for his very slow loading.
Yeah, the PS4 has been very, very insane in many ways.
Yeah.
It's making this very interesting and challenging for me, but in a good way, honestly.
Yeah.
And as opposed to this race, usually runs of this game are rated on the leaderboards with in-game time. So even if the PS4 loads very slowly, it doesn't matter for the actual speedrun on the leaderboard, which is also very, very nice for new players who don't necessarily have the best hardware. And makes it all fair.
I did get the stabs right.
Yeah, you did.
Alright.
And it's now one where
There
I
it
have
is.
to go through the forest.
Hey, you got it, Stockie. That's what matters. Deep breath.
Ah, that's fine.
And yeah, one thing that's really interesting too about the in-game times that we use for the chart is I've seen times where people will race this game. So if one person's playing on a PS4 and the other's playing on a PS5, it'll look like the PS5 player is way ahead of the PS4 player, and then actually the PS4 player, once you get the IGT at the end of how long you were in the actual gameplay, that person would have been a minute ahead or a few minutes ahead. So you never know with the races until you hit that IGT who's actually in the lead. So the big races can be really interesting when you hit that final stretch, just seeing everyone's times and how everyone actually stacked up versus the way it looked in the moment.
Theoretically, we shouldn't have had that many problems with this because PS4 Pros and PS5s are very comparable when it comes to loading times.
In particular, PS4 Pro with SSD.
Yeah.
We may have seen occurrences of PS4 Pro with SSD loading faster than PS5 with Sean Inception's console. So yeah, and I think it's
This console is definitely loading slow.
This one is
supposed to.
This one is cursed.
Yeah.
It's weird. So we had some moments it was much better, like almost as PS5, and just doing random stuff.
And since this is your favorite Colossus, do you want to go into the explanation for this one?
Thanks, I totally forgot. I just saw the desert here. So we're gonna meet now the big snaky boy in the sky. It's the coolest Colossus because it's not very aggressive, basically. Absolutely not. We could say, a third arrow, pretty interesting. So what can we say? We just have to start with the bow to shoot the weak points from aggro running like this, and basically he will fall closer to the sand, and you will be able to jump on phalanx. Sorry for my pronunciation, but I guess with the Colossi we are good. So here TikTak's gonna get to the wing, and as you can see, he'll be able to grab the sort of ledges here. Should be yeah. Because of the way the sand is displayed, you could fall on the sand and like it cancels the grab. And yeah, on his back, on their back, then you have 3 sigils, and the concept is to control your hits, control your stabs, to avoid hitting too strongly each of them. And basically, because of the damages you've done with the bow at first on on the previous weak points, actually the sum of all those damages is superior to 100%. And to say it just easily, you will basically not finish each sigil totally to avoid Phalanx to do some problematic animations, but basically he's doing a barrel roll animation. So we just bypass this by hitting perfectly like we did just before with the Pelagia. Measured and controlled hits can avoid to trigger some animations for the Colossi. And TikTak finished with a jump stab at the end. It was very clean, and we didn't see the barrel roll. Of course, that's the point.
It's one of those very, very easy tricks to learn on Phalanx, which makes the run a lot easier, since there's no time pressure at least, and sometimes that can matter a lot. There's also some crazy optimizations in the individual level. Asima has a world record in, and it's very amazing to watch, so if you wanna see some real skill, feel free to check out the individual level leaderboard that we have.
Mimstad. Yeah, but for each Colossi, the individual levels are really amazing, and it shows the range of all the possibilities, all the manners you can have to play Shadow of the Colossus, and that's pretty cool. But here, obviously, we need to have like a safe jumps on the body to make sure to do everything correctly.
Grab it, please. Thank you.
The PS4 dying.
As soon as it loads in, we can slowly but surely start talking about the next Colossus, which is my personal favorite, as well as Ruby's.
Yeah, Ruby's, this one's for you.
Wait, were you gonna talk about it, or did you want me to? Because I know this is our shared favorite.
Fight. You fight.
I can talk about the fight and the specifics of the speedrun strat, but since it's a long ride, feel free to talk about whatever else is about important to this fight.
Yeah, absolutely. So I won't go into the specifics of the fight, but the reason I love this Colossus is he is a good guard dog boy. The code name that the designers actually used for him is Cerberus, and there's a little city that we're going to see for the actual arena that he's defending. So he's an absolutely adorable Colossus. If I ever get my own dog one day, rather than just having dogs I live with who I love, I will absolutely name that dog Zenobia, no question asked. And at this moment, we don't have any more Pet the Horse donations, but everyone remember that it's only $5 to get good pets for this horse, and there are only 3 fights left. And once we are headed to that final Colossus, there's going to be a certain cutoff point where we won't be able to pet the horse anymore as we're headed towards the final Colossus. So make sure you get in those donations before then. And just a few words about...
About? I think that's the speaker, actually.
No, I don't think so.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah. No.
Oh gosh, I thought I went out for a second. And just a few words really quickly, because I know this is a long ride, about the charity that we're raising funds for. Remember, again, we're raising money for Save the Children. Save the Children actually led the massive worldwide effort that helped reduce newborn deaths by over 40% since the year 2000, saving 1.5 million babies each year. Again, in that mission to save people and families and children from natural disasters, communities impacted by conflict, and global pandemics, as well as abuse, violence, and exploitation. So every dollar of the funds raised for SpeedDocsAthon is going towards that incredible cause. So make sure to get in those donations. And now seems like a good time to turn it over to you so that you can talk about the actual fight of our good guard dog boy.
Yeah, this fight is very special to me, not only because I love the design of it, the aesthetics, and also even the individual level puzzle. The intended puzzle, as well as the speedrun strats in that case. I had a lot of impact on this fight personally because I helped develop and optimize many of the strats that we still use today. And this is one that in the PS4 version got pushed a lot in the recent years. So if you're interested in the details on that, the documentary is coming up. But to talk a little bit about the fight, basically Zenobia is protecting an ancient city with many pillars and old structures. And usually the fight would go in a way where you go from platform to platform, from pillar to pillar, and make Zenobia slowly but surely build a path by hitting those exact pillars. And there is a way to get to the last pillar directly, and this is one of the only few glitches. I'd say 2 of the speedrun strats that we use in this run are real glitches. Everything else is just abuse of the physics mechanics. And in that sense, since the pillar has a little bit of weird detection in the way it works, Wander is actually able to glitch into it, and the game doesn't like that a lot, like at all. So due to that, it's possible to glitch into a pillar and back out with a big boost to land directly onto the side of the pillar and skip minutes upon minutes of the fight, which is very cool. So that is called the super jump, and for that actually...
Super jump.
Yeah, and for that I actually have to switch to 30 FPS mode, which I think
Fortunately. Oh, my eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, they suffer.
Close your eyes, 30 FPS is hitting badly.
No, like it's very dark.
Yeah, it's dark, you can't see it as much. And yeah, after you climb the pillar, Zenobia hits that pillar, it falls into a cutscene. And the second part of the fight, which you will also be seeing, is the so-called Wacky Jump, found by Wacky Wolf AO. And due to a little thing, aesthetic-wise, that in the remake was added to the fight, there's a few little side plateaus in the back wall which you can jump to, and if you do that during the cutscene, it's actually possible to skip directly to the last platform, which also saves about 10 to 15 seconds, and it's amazing. Because it literally looks, if I do it correctly, like you're teleporting directly to the final thing. So yeah, here I'm running to
This is
pillar.
the super jump is one of the it is the only FPS exclusive trick that is in the game, or at least in the game that's used in normal runs. There is some things for
And it's a little inconsistent.
It is a little inconsistent.
There we go.
There are other tricks, specifically in the coin run, which are exclusive to FPS, but from the main games, the only one that is exclusive to the FPS is the super jump to 30, with 30 FPS.
I had a little trouble with the movement of Wander there and the way Snowy behaved, but now I'm jumping to plateaus and hopefully, yep, I think I got it.
Oh.
Here I am on the
there
platform,
we
nobody
go.
knows how I got there, it looks like magic, but this is another cool trick.
Also, let it be known TikTak and I, our French is not amazing, but we do have to navigate these menus in French. So that is extra difficulty to remember.
And
what
it's not a
the buttons
speedrun
are.
threat, it's literally just because we're playing on
Yeah.
Azeroth console.
And they just didn't practice the menuing at all. I was doing everything in
yeah.
the menus. I was doing
Yeah, explaining, translating.
yeah.
I mean, you'd think we would have played this game enough to have it memorized kind of how many menu presses for each
Yeah,
direction.
that's a bit of a joke because they know perfectly.
Yeah.
Actually, they are learning French through the...
Yeah. Oui.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now I will soon be switching back to
60 FPS, but you had a taste of
affichage mode performance.
Perfect.
And you had a bit
Oh
of
no! Oh.
you had a bit of 4K as well, so it's a cool opportunity to change.
Want to jump the other direction?
Hiding
but
in a
goes
bush.
Close to the.
Here, Stockie will just show where the plateaus are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
that-
what you don't see. This is the magician pulling back the
Curtains, yeah.
the curtains for you to see what Wacky Jump actually is.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, you are.
The Zenobia fight can be quite finicky because it relies on Zenobia's AI.
A lot,
That is
yeah.
also why it's difficult to optimize properly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the IL. So in the IL, we are now at 101 minute, and the sub 1 minute seems as a dream, a distant dream, but it will be
It's
amazing.
so close yet so far.
Yeah.
How well it's optimized. Shout out to the Japanese runners, Olivara, Apso, and Taguchi.
Yeah.
All of them are amazing at this game.
Yeah, they really are. Whenever I watch the ILs, I just sit there in absolute awe. So we have to give so much respect to those runners for
Yeah.
finding so many strats and optimizing so much the individual fights. And there are no pets at this moment. And everyone, you only have about 10 more, I want to say 10 or 15 more minutes to get in those
now.
pets. So make sure to get in those donations.
Sorry for the sound. Okay.
What's up?
It's okay. It's alright. All good.
Oh, sweet,
Okay,
sweet 60.
cool.
Back to the normal frame rate. The one they targeted on PS2, if I remember, but they
They targeted as
They
many
can target whatever they want.
They targeted as many frames as they wanted Colossi at first, but in the end it still fits. 16
Yeah.
frames, 16 Colossi. That's about the PS2 experience you get.
It went to PowerPoint frame rate, basically, a presentation.
Which is why it's so amazing to have the remake on the PS4/5 now. And yeah, the next Colossus is another rough one.
Yeah, hiding in his castle. Their castle.
So now I need you to miss it every single time, please.
Oh, of course.
That will be just an absolute.
Remember, guys, if you want Stockie to win, the PS4 is helping, don't worry, but you can literally soft block me with pets. That would also be a possibility. Everything for charity.
So, Argus. This guy has been my arch nemesis for a while, but actually, lovely TikTak managed to help me iron out just my suffering with this one Colossus. If you want to explain it, Ruby?
Yep, I got you. So Minotaur C, as the designers called it, or Argus, is the one that they are headed to. And this Colossus is in a huge arena. And this is another one, much like the third Colossus, Gaius, that is armed. So he actually has a big hammer that he carries in his hand. So what's going to happen here, normally with this fight and intended strats, you would have to navigate the terrain as far as the arena is concerned, get Argus to stomp on different areas, break some of the architecture, break bridges, all just to get on his head, and then eventually get to the arm so that you can knock the sword out of his hand. One of the really cool things about this fight, though, and also what makes it really tricky for speedrunners to pull off, so this is another really big make or break moment in the run, so it'll be really exciting to watch these two as they go for the tricks, is this has probably one of the biggest physics abuses in the game, and it's one of the few glitches that we as any percent runners can actually use for legitimate runs for the board. So what's going to happen in this fight, and it's going to go fast, if you blink you'll miss it, is they're going to make sure that they get Argus to stomp his right leg, that way they can jump onto the left. And if you basically act like you want to jump past the hand, where one of his sigils is, so his two sigils are one on the head and then one on the hand. If you jump towards the hand that has a hammer, like you're going past it, and then hit the grab button, there's a beautiful little thing that we call Wander's magnet hands. And this is basically in the game, if Wanderer is close enough to a model that he should be able to grab it, but he doesn't quite look like he's on it, the model of Wander will actually magnetize to it and go, oh, you're close enough, and just grab onto it. So they're going to have to hit that grab button, and if they're in the right spot, it will magnetize Wander to the fur without the hammer actually falling out of his hand like you would usually need to do in an intended run. Once that's done, they can do a side jump, much like with the Turtle Colossus Bassaron, to launch themselves up to the head. So I see TikTak's getting there, so good luck.
Getting the hand. Going to the leg, everything is under control. The end of Argus animation will initiate the next one, and the side jump now to the head.
Ooh,
GG,
wow.
amazing. First
Nice.
try, clean.
Let me
Now,
just say, in
next time.
yes, the magnet hands are a bit absurd.
Yeah, sometimes one literally teleports through the space-time continuum directly to where you need him to be.
Yeah. Again, the refresh of the physics makes the regrab mechanic a bit even more sticky, even stickier.
Yep, that was a beautiful Argus. Well done,
Yeah,
TikTak,
amazing.
and good luck,
GG's.
Stockie, as you come up to
Big
it.
GG's.
Yeah, and this is another one of those fights that goes past very quickly, and but there's so much technicalities involved and so many little things that make this fight consistent. It's quite challenging. And if there's only one thing that goes wrong, you have to reset it entirely. It's one that can definitely be difficult.
Yeah,
So far,
yeah,
so good stuff.
excellent. To the leg, amazing. Amazing.
Nice.
Two beautiful Argus.
Oh, good.
This is
Beautifully done, yeah.
Two
more
beautiful
than
Argus.
half a year of suffering.
And especially with Stockie, he used to be very, very, he used to have a ton of problems.
I was bad. I was end up bad with Argus. There was this small little thing in the side jump. It's a bit of a weird thing. You have to do the side jump, but you have to jump and then let go of R1 in like less than 1/10 of a second, but you can't do it at the exact same time. And me and the people who tried to help me, none of us realized until TikTak just kind of mentioned it, that I was letting go of R1 way too early. I was basically doing it nearly at the same time, so I spent 6 months doing it wrong and not being able to do anything, and PB's going everywhere, and I can finally say consistent at Argus, and oh god, it feels so good.
Both first tries is pretty impressive. Yeah.
Amazing.
It doesn't always go that way.
And any pet?
Last chance.
I am so sad to say we have no
Oh.
pets at this last chance.
Well, let's say you still have about 30 seconds to pet the horse, and after that it's a done deal.
Yeah.
Yep, so hey, if anyone wants those horse pets in, you have the next 30 seconds or so to get those in. We want our good girl to get some good pets.
So while we wait for that, what is getting TikTak?
I'll let Ruby take this one.
All right, so getting TikTaked. No, we say this with all the love and affection for TikTak in the world. Oh my gosh, hang on a second. We just got a raid of 40 from Visuals TV.
Hello.
VYSUALS TV. Thank you so much for that raid. So, getting TikTaked, as I'm sure many people in the chat know, every speedrun community has its own terminology for certain strats or things that can happen in the game, glitches, etc. And our wonderful speedrunner here, TikTak, has held multiple world records currently and in the past, has taught a ton of people strats of this game, does a ton of along with Azza and so many others for the Team Eco Speedruns community. But he has had several runs that were on world record pace, and when he got to the final Colossus, something would go so tragically wrong that it would kill the run. One time it was a soft lock on a barrier, just suddenly not being able to move Wanderer at all, no matter how many buttons he pressed. One time it was during a race. He was on the head and about to do one of the final stabs for the final Colossus, and then was thrown completely off, fell into a gorge, and died. And there have been several other glitches that have happened as well, or just mistakes that have happened. So now in the community, we affectionately call it getting tic-tacked if you're on pace and doing well for a run, and then the run dies on the final Colossus. So we say it with so much love for you, TikTak, but that is what that term means. So if you hear us say don't get tic-tacked on this final Colossus, that's what that means, is hey, best of luck, don't let the final one get does not die at the end of this. Oh gosh, the stream got tic-tacked.
No!
What? No.
Yep, the stream froze.
What?
Oh,
no. We're no drop. No.
Oh, nope, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
All good.
That's fine. Perfect.
2 hours and 20 minutes of stream.
So,
it seems.
Stockie, last chance. Anything?
Sorry, that was a heart attack moment because the timer was still going, but the camera and all your gameplay was frozen for a minute. So all of us in chat were panicking about getting tic-tacked for the stream.
The curse.
The final tic-tac.
Yeah.
The
ultimate.
Cancel.
I can't even explain it anymore without something going wrong. Goodness.
Talking about it.
Yeah.
Curse, basically.
If you mention it 3 times in a row,
in front of a mirror.
With the mirror, yeah. Malice appears in the mirror.
Goodbye, Pablo.
Bloody Malus. Bloody Malus.
So on the actual strat of Malice, it is the curse of all the it is the absolute curse of all the casual runners who watch a speedrun and they see Malice and they go, what? How? But how is that possible? It's easier than intended. Ask any other speedrunners. It's way easier than intended. It looks very daunting. It looks very complicated. It's not. Hopefully.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so easy. Who would miss that one? I didn't know anything.
But I mean, it's gonna be fine. It's just we can just abuse the AI and the scenery around us. Just kind of, run.
The strat here, so for this fight, if you run a specific path, you can actually use the barriers to your advantage and make sure that all of Malice's hits just barely miss you. And then once you get on this upper platform that TikTak's on, you're able to get him to hit where he thinks you would be if you were down towards the bottom barriers, doing this with the intended strats. But since you're above it, he can't actually hit you. And now TikTak's going to make his way to the climb. And one thing that's going to be utilized here is rather than going all the way up and using every single weak spot it gives you, so going from the back to one arm to the shoulder to the other arm to the other shoulder, just all these different all these different weak spots you have to hit. all TikTak has to do is hit Malice with an arrow and basically aim for the armpit general region, and that will actually cause Malice to lower the arm, and then using the momentum he's going to be able to launch directly onto the shoulders. So it takes out several steps of that process and makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, so TikTak is about to reach Malus bracelet here. First animation where he puts the arm up a bit and then the jump to the chest. And we get to the sigil and we hope to find a plant, which is good.
There you go. Yeah.
TikTak has the plant and we just chain the stabs with the recovery animations.
The time does not end once TikTak kills Malice, because there is a small section of controlling Norman right after this.
At this point, I've just been transferring the TikTaks to
Alright,
the people around me.
GG's TikTak who finishes Malus. There is another kind
done.
of epilogue thingy.
So it's not quite over yet. And I will try to do a final glitch where I hopefully can make it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, TikTak, you may want to count down and just let us know time once you hit that final section, just because of the stream delay. Yep.
Yep, for sure. So the next little segment is very confusing. Don't think about it, play the game if you don't know what the hell is going on. And talk about hell. We are literally demon. Norman, the demon. Hello. He can breathe fire out of his mouth. It's a celebratory gesture.
It's Vape Nation!
Woo!
Blue
And
Raptor.
he flies because I made him.
So for how long do I have to do that for?
Just do it at the start and it's just forward and left to right.
Okay.
And yeah, floaty doorman. Usually you would attack the guards. It has a lot of symbolic meaning. Here we're just waiting for them to go because we're speedrunning and we don't have time for that. So yeah, this game is very, very interesting when it comes to interpreting the ending and many things around it. A lot of symbolism, telling a lot of things with few words. Way that is very great.
Jumps down. Make it responsible. GG.
GG's.
GG's!
Now,
And I was gonna say, in this final dormant section, do you all want to give any shout-outs or say anything to the audience?
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Ruby.
And thank you, Asma, for setting this up. This is an amazing setup, and you're always great with that. Shout out to the Team Eco community. We have an amazing Discord. If you're interested in any kind of events, make sure to join it, and you will be welcomed with open hands. And
the time
is about to finish. Yeah, I'm just jumping a few more times, and time.
GG's.
Yeah.
Now, I don't. No, I lost it. Dang it.
You are not floating.
So TikTak, your time was 1:32:53, and the timer is still going. So Stockie, make sure to let us know time for you.
Yeah.
1:32 with this PS4. I am absolutely shocked. This is amazing. And this might actually
it
be a
went very
PB
well.
for you.
Might be a PB for me, yeah.
It's
very
very good.
I do want to say, by the way, this was very close. It was a great race, but TikTak does have a much better time than I do because he's had horrid loads.
Yeah, I liked how I could just stop.
I really like.
Actually, let me figure this out.
Yeah.
One second. We gotta make some time. Now we can.
This is definitely the meme of the century.
Yeah.
Also, some
being cute.
Oh, she didn't like that.
Sleeping.
No, okay.
She's sleeping
Oh,
now.
Are you guys gonna get to the end, or are you just gonna continue vaping? I don't know. But yeah, thank you for joining. I hope you've enjoyed the run. If any of you are interested in Shadow Colossus or Eco or TLG, join the Discord. You can find it in speedrun.com.
And
thank you so much to Ruby for the lovely, amazing comments.
And for the
commentary.
doc, for the speed doc.
Yeah, thank you so much, SpeedDocs, for giving our little community some much welcome attention with the future documentary that will be, I believe, will be coming out on the 30th, or earlier if the goal is hit. And time will be in 3, 2, 1, now. And yeah, thank you for joining in, and that will be all from us.
Pretty much, yeah.
The most important one.
It seems. So
All so much. Everyone, again, that was TikTak and Stockie in a race of Shadow of the Colossus. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.